Bonjour! It's the end of March and I haven't sowed a seed in anger, and I need to rectify that situation right now. I need to get my season up and running. So why don't I show you what I'm going to attempt to plant up at the plot this year. Alright, these are just a few things on offer and don't represent everything that I'm going to attempt to grow up at the plot. We'll start with the sweet candle carrots, Californian poppy seeds that my dad harvested, picked from his back garden. When they come out in this sea of orange and it looks fantastic. What have we got? Pumpkin, small sugar pumpkin there. These were bought for me. I'm sure they are a joke. I probably won't attempt to grow those, but I just thought I'd show you what somebody had bought me. Sexy peppers. We've got small cucumbers, gherkins. I may or may not have a go at those. Broad beans, Bunyard's exhibition. What have we got here? Sapo unas. Sweet corn. Chantenay red. I'll have a go at sunflower this year. The one that I grew last year was a bit wishy-washy. Butternut squash is back on the menu this year. Parsnips, honeyboat squash. It's a strong contender. Some leafy salad, speedy veg there. Dwarf French beans. And I've got a little pot or jar of sweet peas that have been soaking overnight. And we'll get those planted up in a sec. And then I've got some runner beans, Lady Di variety, from a customer at work who just kindly came in and said, I've got loads of these, do you want some? And I went, yeah, let's do it. So at the moment, this represents everything that I'm going to have a go at. But like I said, I've got no beetroot repping at the moment. As you know, I do like my Pablo F1 variety, so beetroot will be added to this mix, and so will probably lettuce and who knows, maybe a giant pumpkin. I wasn't going to attempt to grow one this year because I did it last year, but my plot neighbour, I think, was inspired by my efforts last year and has challenged me to have a go this year. Me and him are going to maybe attempt to grow another big pumpkin. That's just a maybe. Alright, that's it for the seeds. The star and onion sets have been planted for this year. As you can see, I don't do many, just 30 in total, and that sees me through. Now what I am going to do in this video is get the broad bean started. The Bunyard's exhibition broad bean, reliable long pod variety, sow between February and May, as it's the back end of March. Perfect timing. Look at the potential in that handful there. Now, I've done a fantastic video on how to grow broad beans from start to finish. And if you haven't seen that, why not? I'll put a link to it in the top right hand corner now, so do check that out if you're curious. And all I'm doing now, for any newbies out there, is just literally poking them, one bean, into each pot. It's just multi-purpose compost in each pot, nothing special. Broad beans tend not to need any TLC, they just get on with the job, which is why they're so easy to grow. I'm putting them in pots just because I've got mice up at the plot, and if I sow the seeds direct into the ground up at the allotment, the mice come and take them during the night. So if I get them started off in these pots and then transplant them up to the plot, it does the trick. they're not interested in the plants. Just for seeds at this stage. That's it. 19 seeds have been sown. I'll just water them in. And once you've done that, you can expect these to germinate within 10 to 18 days. Sweet peas are next. These are the 4 varieties that I've used. Cyril Platter, the Spencer Mix, Unwin's Signature Blend, and Cupani. Now I've had this little jar soaking overnight, as you can see. They've all swollen. And what I'm going to do now is plant these little blighters. My style. Before we get to a really technical process of planting these guys out, I want to show you the benefits of soaking your sweet peas. The one on the right has been soaking overnight, the one on the left hasn't. As you can see, the one on the right is slightly more swollen and in theory should germinate quicker than the guy on the left. Incidentally, before we do this, I have done a fantastic video on how to grow sweet peas from start to finish. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link to it in the top right hand corner now, so do check that one out after this. I've roughly split that jar of sweet peas in half. Check out this. This is all you do. Sprinkle them into your pot as best you can. Separate them out as best you can, and then adopt this really complex planting process. Poke them in. That's it. You don't see this kind of stuff on Gardener's World. And some of you might be wincing and going, my God, what's he doing? Believe me, this works. It works a treat. Done it for years now, and it's produced tremendous results. Did have a guy contact me and got all sniffy about it, saying, oh, you're supposed to separate your sweet peas. Well, mate, you do you, I'll do me, and never the twain shall meet. And that's it. Pot number 1 has been planted. Guess what's going to happen to pot number 2? Spread them out. Poke them in. And if you think they're too close together, well, when you go to garden centres and you buy them in the pots there, they've generally got a much smaller pot than this, and there's about 20 seeds in that, and they're all crammed in together. So this is just me replicating that method in a slightly bigger pot. Toot sweet. I've not watered these in, as they have been sitting in that jar of water all night, and the pots have been outside and we've had a load of rain. So for the next couple of days I'm just going to leave these as they are and place them in my little greenhouse outside. Well, that's this one over and done with. I'll chart the progress of the onions, sweet peas and broad beans over the next couple of weeks, and in between that lot I'll also be planting some seeds up at the plot. I'll also be doing a few little experiments behind the scenes, and I'll do the big reveals to those later on in the year. Anyway, that's it for this one. I've bored you long enough, haven't I? Right, what do I normally say at this point? I usually say, thanks for watching. If you have, remember to hit the like button because that really does help. Share the video around. Subscribe to the channel. Come on. It's growing at a glacial pace, this channel. But most importantly of all, please do comment down below in the comment section. Get at me. Tell me if you think I'm right or wrong with the techniques I'm using. I'll probably ignore you anyway, so whatevs. But anyway, yeah, get down below, have a chat with me. Alright, until the next one, bonsoir.